Hi, my name is Andy and I am from Dallas, Texas. I first discovered K-pop last year, I believe, but I very quickly developed a huge admiration for it. But I really got into K-pop when I finally discovered BTS. I became an ARMY in, I believe, February of this year when I saw the Carpool Karaoke sketch. I had only ever heard of BTS, I had never listened to their music, I had never seen them, and which, now that I think about it, how had I not? But from that moment on, I was listening to BTS non-stop. I was blasting it in my car, I was dancing around at work, just down the street, and I did not care who saw, who was judging me, what they were thinking, if they were laughing at me. I didn't care. Listening to the music made me happy. I was happy and loving life and just feeling it and feeling myself, and that's all that mattered. For me, it was, and still is, the connection and resonance that I have with the music, even though I had no idea what was being said. Then about a month later, the pandemic hit, and I knew that if I didn't keep my mind occupied, that I would just fall into a hole that I may not have been able to pull myself out of. I started watching BTS videos along with other K-pop groups, and very quickly fell head over heels for this group. I started reading about their history, the stories behind their music, and the message that they were sending out into the world about, finding who you are, loving yourself, appreciating yourself for who you are. All of these things that I had already found in listening to their music. To think that I could just instinctually know and feel everything that they were trying to express in their music without understanding a single word. During this entire lockdown, anytime that I just felt lost or sad or just felt the fingers of something darker and deeper just creeping around my throat, I just listened to their music, and this cathartic moment where I can just reaffirm to myself that everything's gonna be okay. The clouds part, the heavens open, and I am so incredibly happy. Not only that, but the most amazing and mind-boggling part of all this is that I have now found a family, a global family of fellow ARMYs thousands and thousands of miles away. I've made friends in Sri Lanka, Korea, Dubai, Israel, Sweden, Germany, places that I will probably never get to see in my lifetime. No matter the distance, the language, the orientation, the culture, the beliefs, none of it matters, because we all share this one love. Who would have thought you could make such good friends in the middle of a global pandemic when everybody is separated more now than ever? BTS has helped me not only find new friends, but they've helped me realize who I am, who I want to be, and I've found a level of self-love that so many people could maybe never achieve in their lifetime. I don't want to be perfect. I want to be real. I want to be me. I love me exactly as I am right now. And now that I have this pure, whole love for myself, I can give those around me that I love the same amount of pure and whole love. I know my whole self, so I can give my whole self to my family, my friends, my fiance, complete strangers walking down the street who just want a hug. I can be what they need because I am what I need. I've always tried to live by the motto, I'd rather be dead than doing something that makes me unhappy. And since coming to this epiphany about my own identity, it's just taken on a whole other meaning that I never even realized was possible. I will never be able to thank BTS and ARMY for everything they've done to me in just these short few months. And until I can go out and meet my fellow ARMY and give all of you just the biggest hug, I'll just say, I purple you. I purple you with everything that I am. Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna make this quick because this is like the third time that I've tried to film this and my dog is like not having it. But basically, and I'm sure there are other people who have much more insightful things to say than me. So this is my entry for the project that K-Pop for Peace is doing. I think it's great. I think it's a great idea. And I love how we're giving back to the idols because they give so much to us. So I became a fan of K-pop back in 2016. Of course, I started with BTS. I feel like a lot of people started with BTS in more recent years. And so my friend introduced me to them. I was a little thrown off at first, I'm not gonna lie, but it's because it was different. With everything that's different, you have to learn about it. And so I took, the time to gradually learn about them, learn about their music, understand the messaging behind their music, understand the messaging that they promoted to their fans, and just the things that they stood for as people. And so figuring out the messaging that they stood for and they promoted among their fans at that point was so important, because at that point in time, and for a good majority of my adult life, so from 18, which was back in like 2011, oh my gosh, that sounds so old, but in 2011, I was 18 to 2016, I felt like I had to have everything figured out. I wasn't allowed to make mistakes. I wasn't allowed to be young. I had to be very adult-minded. I had to basically have my future figured out, have everything figured out in that moment, and it just wasn't aligning for me. I just felt like I was failing. I felt like I wasn't meeting the expectations of the people around me, of my family, of my friends, and of myself. And I could not figure out why I was allowing this pressure to consume me to the point where I felt like I was fighting every day. I was always anxious. I might have been depressed at some point. And so knowing that, I just felt like there was no way out of it. Like I either had to get myself together or I failed. And so basically starting to become familiar with BTS and their messaging, allowed me to feel young because here I am fangirling over a group of guys and I'm, in my mid-20s. But B, they gave the messaging that it was okay to be young. It was okay to make mistakes. It was okay to to have regrets, to be yourself, but also allow yourself to be young. Allow yourself to just be yourself. Love yourself for who you are. And to hear that from another source other than, people around me telling me for some reason, but to hear someone promoting that message among masses of people and living that truth themselves just resonated with me so much. And so for the past 3 or 4 years that I've been a part of ARMY, that I've been into K-pop, I have taken on that mindset and applied it to my life. And I honestly can say that if I hadn't found them, if I hadn't accepted that messaging and that truth into my life, I don't know what the outcome would have been. I just know I was meant to hear that message. I was meant to discover them. And honestly, they're just like a endorphin booster. I don't care what anybody says. Like, they're funny. They basically just brighten up my day. And so I just can't thank them enough for everything that they give. And I like that projects like this exist because for once we're giving something back to them. I know they say that we always give things back to them and that without us, there would be no them. But I feel like the feeling is mutual. And so I really hope that they see this. I hope that they get something from it. And I hope that they know that their work is so important and it's appreciated and it's life-changing. And so I'm going to wrap up because I feel like I'm rambling. But love you guys. I love this fandom. I love all K-pop fandoms. I love everyone, to be honest. But I just hope that this brightens some idol's day.